Well, good. Hello, readers. How are you? I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is doing good with their life. Everything is going on right now with COVID. So hopefully, all of you are doing good. I'm doing well. My family's doing well. But tonight we're here talking about what? The book Blacktop Wasteland. That was our first book of the year. First book of the year, and it was a good one. First time with this author, S.A. Cosby. I saw him doing an interview with Black Classic Press, and I was interested in as he was describing and talking about the story of Beauregard and what he went through. So that came, I said, I want to try out different authors this year. I still go back to my go-to authors, but it's nice to try different authors to get different perspectives and learn new stories and different writing styles. So that's what I did. If you have not read the book, please do because you will enjoy it. With each chapter, I wanted to know what was going next. So it was really, really good. So this is the story of Beauregard and how he lived. His upbringing wasn't the greatest. Father wasn't around. He was around for a minute, but then he left because he was doing, living that legal life. He was a driver. You know what that means when you in, just types of life and you can drive, you're the driver. So, doing illegal things. Beauregard wound up doing the same types of things that his father did. And what's interesting that I found in the story was that as much as he tried to do differently and live differently, he wound up doing the same types of things that his father was doing. He really did. So it's interesting. The further you try to go away from your parents, whether good, bad, or indifferent, sometimes you wind up doing the same things that they were doing. And it seems like this particular car that he had that belonged to his dad was one of the main characters as well. It's interesting how Mr. Cosby used the car to be a big part of the story. Because as he, when he thought about his dad and as he was holding on to his car, now he was married, had two children, had actually three children. He had an older daughter and he had two younger sons with his current wife. So he, tried to do right. He tried to do right by his first daughter, but because he was young, her parents did not allow it. They didn't allow him to be the father he was. Now, the funny part about that, the mom is living an illegal life. That's what's funny. You rather hold on to the child and not let the dad, who's actually trying, young or not, he did get into some trouble. He was in juvenile detention. He had all those problems. But when he got out, he was always trying to find a way. And even when Beauregard had a chance to, meet with the daughter, talk with her, do something well for her, he did not knock the mother in front of her, which I did appreciate because he could have. As much as I know the grandma probably was telling her different things, even the mother was saying negative things. But I'm like, well, wait a minute, you a drug addict. How dare you do this? How dare you tell your daughter something negative about her dad when you're not even raising your own child? You have done nothing for her. And then, he's raising his boys with his current wife and they're doing well. They have a business. But at this time, the business is going, a little slow. So he's trying to find ways to, get money, trying to do different things. And it wound up going back into a life that he didn't want to be in, that he came out of. And it's kind of pushing him to go back in. And he has these friends that are like, pulling him like, come on back, you the driver, come on, you can help us out. So within this story, like I said, Mr. Cosby uses the car that belonged to his dad that he refuses to give up. The wife is like, why don't we just sell the car? And Beauregard is telling her, no, I'm not selling the car. I'm going to do what I got to do. Do what I have to do. But had he just sold the car, had he listened to his wife, the domino effect would not have happened. Now, we don't know what would have happened, but a lot of things that he became involved in negatively, and in the end, really bad, may not have happened had he listened. So what I'm getting from that, when keeping the car kept him as that little boy who wanted his dad to come back, who watched his dad leave, his family. So holding on to the car seemed to be that holding on to that period of time of I want my dad back. I want to see my dad. I want to have that connection and that relationship with my dad. But had he just got ridden the car, got said let's get the money for because it was a nice car. It was a racing car. I'm quite sure people would have paid a good penny for it, but that didn't happen. He wanted to hold on. So sometimes we hold on to things that we shouldn't, and we should let it go, and it causes us problems in our life. And that's what happened. He just about lost his family because of this car, and not just the car and what it represented, but the actions that were taken based on had he made a different choice. And like I said, it seemed like he was trying to do so much different than his dad that even when he was talking to his mom, who didn't seem like she was the nicest person, not really. But she had other issues mentally, she was in a nursing home, different things. But still, mom knew some of the actions that he was taking, and she's telling him, like, you're really looking like your dad right now, So, like I was just saying, sometimes we try to do different than our parents, whether they were good to us, bad to us, or whatever. But sometimes we wound up making the same mistake. We're trying so hard to break our necks to do different, been there, done that, that we wound up doing the same things, and we kind of mirror image what we were trying to get away from. So I love the story. I loved all the players, and even like the people sometime in the story, like he thought they were his friends, but they really wasn't his friends. They were always looking for the bottom line for themselves, but he could not see it. Now he was smart. There were certain things that he did notice, but then there are certain things, had he paid attention, he would have said, you know what, that doesn't seem right, that doesn't look right. But like I said, based on his actions and his stubbornness, because he was very stubborn. And I'm reading it and I'm listening because I listened to the audiobook, and I'm like, Beauregard, if you just listen, come on. But that's what happens sometimes. So I love the story, and I, hope that you read it. And when you do, let me know your thoughts about what you thought about his life story, how he was trying to get away from his dad, but also hold on to his dad without saying it. Without saying that he was holding on, that car was a big representation of that, because we can just have a conversation just about the car and what the car represented throughout the whole story. So for me, the car was a big character. It was one of the main characters in the story. Then we can also talk about the love relationship between him and his wife, and then in the end, how the dynamics of that changed. And will it change for the better or not? What will happen next between Beauregard and his wife? So I hope that you will read this story. We can talk. Continue to, like, subscribe, tell people about the channel so that we can have more conversations. You have a comment, please put your comment in. And definitely like and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you soon. Our new book is coming up for February. It is The Black Cowboys of the Old West. So get ready. Get ready with your cowboy hat so we can discuss one of the stories that doesn't get much airplay, talking about black cowboys. We know they existed. We know they were a big part of America. So let's talk about it. Okay? Definitely make sure you hit like and subscribe to this channel so you can hear more about stories, events, and everything reading. All right? Well, have a good night. Bye-bye.